Hi, welcome to Rick's Raw Vegan Health. Today we're going to talk about healthy breakfast choices. Everybody says that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so I'm going to tell you how I start mine. 9 times out of 10, I'll have a fruit smoothie. And the reason why I like fruit smoothies, there's so many reasons. The first thing is that, well, if you're into the raw food health style, just want to be more healthy, don't like your numbers, meaning your like cholesterol, your weight, your blood pressure, whatever, then there's really a good way to start is the breakfast meal. The reason why is that with a smoothie, you can get a lot of satisfying food in an easy to go carrier if you're busy, and it really satisfies you. So this one here is just pineapple and water. Those of you who've read some of my webpage and stuff know that I'm a really big fan of pineapple. And there's a lot of reasons why. It's a bromelain, which means it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. It blends really good with water. It becomes kind of a creamy thing. And a big one, you want to at least make a 32 ounce like this one here. And how I made this, my wife was like, oh, you should show them how you make it. But I didn't really have the camera set up to really do that. So let me tell you how I make them, and make them really inexpensively too. Pineapple. You can use them fresh or frozen. They have organic pineapples, which are really, really hard to get. So 9 times out of 10, I will buy pineapple at least, and I'm a big fan of organic. But as far as like pineapple in particular goes, I will just buy whatever's on sale. And the reason why I do that is because they can be expensive. They're generally at Walmart, for example, $2.98. However, every once in a while they go on sale for $1, and then I buy over 100 of them. That's correct. So the good thing is that one whole pineapple will make about 64 ounces of smoothie, which is pretty big. This is a big cup. This is only 32. That would be that times 2. And it only costs 50 cents. So that's right, on my raw vegan lifestyle, my breakfast costs 50 cents a day. Not too bad. This is a cup from a Ninja blender. You don't need any kind of particular blender. I got a Vitamix for my birthday last year. It really is a good blender, but when I first started this lifestyle, I used a Walmart blender, and it cost me like $14. The reason why it's nice to have a blender when you're starting this lifestyle, or even if you're experienced, is because you can get a lot of food in like a kind of a nice convenient package, and it's a lot easier to drink it than to chew it. Now, I agree with the fact that the best blender is your teeth, because it grinds stuff up, it gets your saliva going and everything, it helps your digestion. But if you sip a smoothie slowly and you kind of chew it like you would a food, it really works good too. So good. So this is how easy it is. You just take your favorite fruit, you put water in the blender, you make that consistency to your liking, less water, more creamy, more dense, more water, more liquidy. Generally, you want to find a good balance so it's not like water that's not really that filling or that good, not too thick where it's going to give you a brain freeze if you drink it too fast. The reason why I say brain freeze is I forgot to mention this. How I do the pineapples is when I buy 100 at a time, I cut them up into pieces. You know, you take the outside of the pineapple and you peel it, whatever, with a knife. And then you core it, however you do it. I just cut around the core. Then you cut it into chunks. You put it on a sheet pan with wax paper, and you put all those chunks on that sheet pan, and then you freeze them for and if you don't have a big freezer, you put them on a plate. And you just put them on a plate with no wax paper or anything. And you freeze the individual chunks for about an hour till they're kind of frozen themselves. Then you crumple them up and put them into bags. That way, you don't get this big solid lump of frozen pineapple chunks. You get individually pieces. Like if you buy them at the store and you shake the frozen fruit out of a bag, it's always individual. That's how they do it. They freeze them individually first and then freeze them together. So what I'll do is I'll cut up 100 of those. Yes, we really do. If those of you who know me and look at my Facebook page, it shows me in the grocery store with 2 shopping carts full of pineapples. I bought them all once. It was over 240 or something. Anyway, so then I freeze them in bags in the amount that I want to do. Now, frozen versus fresh. Let's talk about that, because fresh fruit is really good, and that's probably the best way to go. However, freezing retains, vitamin C is not that sensitive to freezing. It is to heat and stuff like that, but it still holds a lot of its value and everything. So if you're going to get probably 80 to 90% of the benefit from a frozen fruit smoothie as you would for an actual fresh, but the convenience of it may just keep you on the lifestyle and make it more feasible for you, especially if the price is really good. Now, I'm not afraid to spend money on my diet and my lifestyle, but just the convenience of having all those and not having to cut them up every morning is really good, because I just take my frozen pineapple chunks in a bag, dump them in my blender, pour water over it, hit blend, and I'm done with breakfast in 1 minute. No drive-through waiting lines, no turning on the stove, no doing any of that stuff. It all just works out really, really good. So what you got here is a breakfast with about 350 calories in it, maybe more if you make a bigger one, and there's really no limit to the size you can make. But it has 0 cholesterol, it has tons of fiber, it has tons of vitamin C, and it has scientists and stuff don't even really know what's all in fruit and vegetables. There's so many phytochemicals and good things, but another good aspect of it is it's alive. What do I mean by that? Well, when I say it's alive, let me just give you an example of a seed. So if you grow a watermelon and you pick out one of the seeds and you store it away for 2,000 years in like the Great Tomb of Egypt or something like that, then 2,000 years later you pull that out and you put it in the soil and you put water on it and expose that thing to like the warm sun and everything, somehow a watermelon plant will start to sprout. Now, if you take that same seed and you heat it up to over 100 and 140 degrees, it'll never sprout again because you killed it. But what did you kill? That's the thing. So a seed's alive until it gets heated up. Like you take any seed and you put it in the ground later and it grows into a plant, because there's something in there that makes it grow. It's like alive. It's just waiting in there. It can wait for weeks or whatever, but it's alive. And that's called enzymes. And enzymes die at over like 100 and something degrees. It's not that high. But those enzymes also are really good for you because it gives you some life force, but it also helps you assimilate and digest all the vitamins. And that's the difference between having something like this versus just having your regular breakfast, whether it's cereal or eggs and bacon or whatever it is, and then having a vitamin C pill to get your vitamin C. You actually want to have it in a natural package like this. That makes it really assimilate to your body, and it also gives you some kind of a life force in your body. People have said that I have coworkers and friends and stuff who have started trying having a fruit smoothie for breakfast, have said it's really, really calming, and they really feel good. And so for that reason alone, I think it has tons of benefits. But it doesn't have anything bad in there. Your doctor is never going to tell you, don't have too many vitamin C, don't have too much vitamin C, don't have too much this. There is one aspect of this kind of thing, and this could be done with any fruit. You could have strawberries, fresh strawberries with water. You can put ice if you like them frozen. You can have peaches. You can have anything you want. You can take frozen bananas. That's a little on the heavier side. You can do anything you want and make a fruit smoothie with it. I just add water in mine. I don't like to add yogurt or any of that stuff, or milk, or even coconut milk, because really I like to eat a low-fat diet. There's a lot of reasons why that is good too, but you really want to watch the amount of fat that you have. But there's one thing that some people and some doctors would say is that be careful of the sugar in something like this, which, by the way, tastes really good. Now, when we're talking about the sugar in this, pineapple may have a slightly higher glycemic index, and so does fruit in general. It has fructose and intrinsic glucose and all that kind of stuff. So it does have, it's all sugar and vitamins and minerals. But it does have, it's packaged in the right way. meaning that it has a lot of fiber in it as well. When you use the whole fruit and you don't juice fruits but you blend them, then you have the fiber, and that kind of makes the sugar burn down and break down kind of slower, and it gives you a nice steady even burn and keeps your blood sugar really good. The other thing, and probably the most important thing when you're on this kind of lifestyle, is that if you eat an ultra low fat diet, and the terminology actually goes to high carb, low fat, raw food diet, if you actually do that, then you won't have any problems with the amount of sugar that goes in here, because this has a slightly higher glycemic index, but it has a really low glycemic load compared to even like white rice. I think this, and a glycemic load, what is that? That is the amount of energy. So the glycemic index, these are for people with sugar concerns. The glycemic index is the ease to which this sugar enters your bloodstream. And that's good, because you want to have sugar to fuel your cells and stuff like that. So this goes in your bloodstream really easy, just the way it's supposed to. You take a sip, it goes in your digestive system, it goes right into your cells to fuel it. And one of the things is you want it to be able to leave your bloodstream. So the glycemic load is the amount of energy that it takes for the sugar to leave your bloodstream. Well, because it's really sugar in its natural form, if you don't have a high-fat diet, because fat actually blocks the insulin receptors in your veins, that's a whole nother subject. But let's just say that if you don't have a lot of fat in your blood and you eat a nice low-fat diet, this is not going to be a problem. In fact, even some of the leading people today who research diabetes, like Dr. Neil Bernard, he's the one who says he can reverse type 2 diabetes, mastering diabetes, whatever. They all recommend fruits, vegetables, whole grains, all that stuff. As many carbs as you want to, because carbs are not bad, contrary to popular belief, but they're actually what fuels your body. And the greens and stuff that you eat along with this diet are what turns into, protein from the amino acids. Anyway, needless to say, low-fat diet, you'll be fine with your fruit smoothie in the morning. And again, there's no fat, there's no cholesterol, there's tons of vitamins, there's tons of fiber, everything that will make your numbers and your body feel really, really good. Well, that's all for now, and we're going to talk about other choices maybe on the next video. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.